my slimes. This video is gonna be a coaching session that I recently did with one of my students. This guy is a gold slash silver mid laner who recently started picking up Ahri. The session is gonna cover a lot of like the fundamental and basic things about Ahri, the things you want to think about when playing her, how to lane, and how to transition into the mid game on her and have decent success. I am a super proficient Ahri player, so that's why I wanted to release this video. And I want to start doing this more with people that I coach. So hopefully you enjoy. Something very important here that I didn't say specifically because I wanted to see if you noticed it yourself. Look at wave state. So this, right?
Yeah.
What do we think about this?
I don't like it because I'm very pushed in and there's no vision.
Good. How do we get out of this?
I don't. Okay, in this case, because I'm scared of Yasuo because he's a melee champion. I can't just go. I would want to push it out, right? Like just destroy it.
Yeah, we want to push, so we have to find a way to push this. Like pushing this matters so much, but here you can auto attack the minions from this distance and you're safe, but you don't. Like you should be spamming. Instead, did you see that? You're trying to hit the Yasuo, man. Yasuo does not matter here. Damage on Yasuo means nothing here. What matters the most is getting this wave out. Like that is your #1 priority. Whenever your wave gets stuck in this spot, I don't care if you can hit the enemy champion. The #1 priority is make sure that this wave gets out of this spot. Because even if you deal like this amount of damage to Yasuo, well played. If the wave is still stuck like this, guess what? Yasuo will still kill you from this HP. If the wave is in this position. Even if you're this HP. He still murders you. Like, that is how it goes. That is how the matchup works. So we have to make sure we don't... Like, we gotta unfuck ourselves here. We push too fast, and now we need to unfuck ourselves here. And the way to do that is by pushing this wave and just ignoring the Yasuo. Now, if he starts trading with us and running at us, we have to start disengaging the trade. Right? But if he's just walking back like this and giving us everything in the lane, fucking auto the wave. Just keep hitting it. Push, push, push. Get out of this spot. As fast as possible.
Okay.
Like, hit. You need to constantly auto-attack the wave here. Like, recognize whenever you get frozen on, you have to try to break that freeze, if possible. And your Q hits 1 minion. So it's pushing even slower now. And now we're hitting Yasuo and not hitting the wave. Do you know what this ends up meaning?
That.
No, not... I mean, obviously, yeah, we would have pushed the wave faster, and we would have been out of the ganking spot, but it means... Even if Rammus didn't come here, the wave would still be frozen, because the next wave would have arrived in time before it would have hit the tower. So because you pushed too slowly, because you wanted to hit the Yasuo instead of pushing out the wave would have been frozen, and you would have been half HP against Yasuo. And he would be half HP as well, but who's favored? Half HP Ahri or half HP Yasuo? I can assure you that is half HP Yasuo. He has more damage than you do. In the all-in.
Yeah.
So, whenever your wave gets fucked, #1 priority is pushing it out. I mean, if he hits you with a nado, that's tough. You will get poked out, but shouldn't matter that much. What matters the most is the all-in. Yeah, here, we push and we move. So we look at top lane. There's a fight going on, but where's the wave? That's usually how you can determine how far up the enemy laner is gonna be. Is where are the waves? And they're really far up. They're meeting here. That means Garen is gonna likely play in this circle by the time you run top lane. Is that good? Is that killable? This HP Garen? Absolutely not. Okay, well don't go for the roam then. Instead, what you should do is you should recognize this is not killable. Absolutely no world. Because the wave is here. If the wave is here, if they're meeting here and Garen is playing around here, I don't think you have damage to kill him even so, but it's more acceptable, the roam. Ahri doesn't really deal a lot of damage and Garen is very tanky.
Yeah.
She doesn't deal damage against tankier champions. She just doesn't. Which is why you should primarily focus on bot lane. But here there's nothing to do bot lane. But there's nothing to do top lane either, actually. So instead of roaming here, instead you would just do this. Go for a ward here, and then zoop, come back into the lane. And then we push the wave again, and then we do the exact same thing. We rinse and repeat. Look at your minimap. It is so important. Like here, you're not doing anything. You're hitting the tower. You can look at the minimap while you're hitting the tower. It's not like you need to pay super hard attention to hit this tower. You do to last hit, sometimes. You do to trade with the enemy as well. Which At higher levels, people are capable of looking at the minimap while farming or while trading with the enemy champion. Those are good players. Those are like pretty good players. At this level, I would say whenever you're just not farming or hitting an enemy champion, look at the map. Just glance at it. Because here, while we're hitting this tower, we should be eyeing out the minimap and we should be paying a lot of attention. We should see there's a Rammus here. Okay, good, nice, like it. Run away from him. Yeah, this is good. Good charm. Somehow he gets his taunt off. Not sure how while being charmed, but yeah. And here you should still be looking at the minimap because we're not interacting with an enemy champion. So you just glance at the minimap. Blitzcrank there, Yasuo there, Rammus is running down. Look at the minimap. Here I would look at the minimap and then we look over. Yeah, good, nice. And then we move. Yeah, good charm. Focus the Yasuo here. Here you can ult in. Enemy team is so low HP you would get your resets. You just ult in here straight away. But it's fine that you wait for your spells. It's a good habit to be in. Yeah, push the. That's probably where the game was won, by the way, right? We have options here as Ahri. Again, you can walk down here and this. So this spot, I will give you some spots on Ahri where to sit. So if tier 1 is up mid lane for enemy team, this wraith wall is really good to sit on because you can ult over the wall like this. I will actually show you because I'm pretty sure you move your camera over. Yeah. So imagine this tower's up, right?
Yeah.
Enemy bot lane is sitting here and here. So you can ult over the wall and find a one-shot on one of them, and then ult out like this, and you're safe. So when this tower's up and the enemy bot lane is playing under this tower, the wraith wall is very good. Also matters for the other side, right? If this tower's up and the enemy is here, or enemy bot lane is there, you can sit over this wall. If this tower is down, this one right here, usually this spot is the place to be. Because that is how you get over here to the enemy bot lane. Like in terms of the terrain of the map.
And again, like to burst someone, I would do my E and then Q or WEQ.
You would do
Wait. I would ult
W,
first.
R, E, Q. And then R again to redirect your Q. You W ult at the same time, usually. Because they're the same
you can
range.
both at the same time.
Yeah, you can, yeah. But you would be sitting here, usually, on the side, right here. Or right here. And you would look for someone that's playing underneath this tower. Because they won't expect you to fly over the wall if you've swept it. Now again, Ashe for some reason is here. You wouldn't find the Ashe. Unlucky, man. Sucks. Okay, once I see the Ashes here, probably I would actually just run bot lane and collect the wave. But yeah. This is the play you should be looking for at all times. Trying to stay in Fog of War and catching the enemy team when they catch waves. Usually works in mid lane. So you would be sitting here. Instead of sitting here where the enemy has vision on you, you just sit right here. And the enemy doesn't have vision here, which means they're more likely to walk in, and then you ult over the wall and catch them. This is a play that... or this is a concept that's very important when you play something like Ahri. It doesn't apply to this specific instance. Well, it does apply to this spot, but it doesn't matter because the enemy isn't contesting the Drake. But usually, if you have control over an area, you want to find a spot where the enemy has to walk through a choke point. So these are the two spots, right, where the enemy would walk in to contest the dragon. These two right here. This corridor and this corridor. And you would look for a spot on Ahri, or you would try to think about where's the enemy likely to go through, and you would look for a spot where you can catch the enemy backline if they walk there. So for example, this bush is very good if the enemy walks down like this, because you can catch them, right? You have a lot of openings to catch them when they run down to try to contest the dragon. If they're running through this area, let's say they've just pushed mid and they're going to run through this area, the bush, like Pixel Brush, is very good then to catch them, because they will run like this, right? Zoop, through this area. So you would catch them if you sit in Pixel Brush. But this is what you should think about when you have control over an objective. Where can I sit so that I can find the enemy backline if they walk through to try to contest? Forcing yourself to think while you play the game. Like, please, like, ask yourself questions if that's what you need to do. That's what helped me a lot from autopiloting. That's what stopped me from autopiloting. Or to ask myself, where should I be?
You used to do that?
Yes, while I was playing the game. Because I autopiloted a lot. I still do. And the way to like force myself to think would be to ask myself, where the fuck do I need to go? Right? Like that is why when I'm like when you're playing the game, I will ask you questions to force yourself to think. It is not to make you do the specific thing I want you to do. It is to make sure that you think about something, right? Like, you need to constantly be thinking and absorbing information in the game. Like, that is how you gain advantages. So you force yourself to think about stuff all the time. Like, what do I do after I push this wave? Do I need to base here? Can I kill the enemy laner? Where does the enemy need to walk through? Is this roam good? Like, all of these things, right? Like, you force yourself to think about things while you play the game.
Yeah.
And the way
Okay.
that worked for me, or the way that I could force myself to think the easiest, was asking myself questions during the game. Prompt myself to come up with an answer, right?